souvenirs, but I will never be your pawn, your pawn, your pawn.
This is the
My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. You can double down. I'll still be a proud haven for your love is never love. A river through your bluff, I will be enough, enough, enough. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. Something you can never take, but it's not uncommon to forsake. Got a chronic urge to complicate. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. Feeling I have nothing left to hide. I'll say what you know it when it's right. Keep it simple now, living it before I die. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? The demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. Boku no mirai wa誰にもわかる.
Hey, good morning. I know I'm running a little late this morning, but I'm here, and we're gonna do a show this morning. And I really think at the end of the day, that's all that really counts, right? Is that I actually am doing the show. I missed you guys. I have. It's like I said the other day. There has to be something that really kind of speaks to me on a level before I will do a show, because I felt like, honestly, some of the stuff that I've been doing here as of late, it just been kind of, I don't know, just lacking. It's just I just didn't have no. I just didn't care. I just didn't care. So I've been enjoying some time with my friends, and I keep like thinking, having thoughts. Well, I'll stream, because we've been playing Fortnite and having a blast. It's just relaxing. It's just chill, And so D-Max and Seth and I were just kind of playing last night, just kind of chillaxing a little bit. And we saw that, or got word that, well, I think what it was, I think Seth saw a tweet or something where Badwick was playing. And I guess because we were at the end of our gaming session, we were kind of like, okay. And Seth was having problems sleeping. I said, well, we got to end this. So, maybe she can go and get some rest. Cause she it was quite late, or early rather, I guess, in the morning for her, whatever, over there where she lives. And I was like, oh, she needs to go to bed. She needs to get some rest. And, anyway, she saw on a tweet or whatever, Badwick was playing Fortnite. And I don't know if she had in her little goblin brain just has me to go play some Fortnite with Badwick or whatever, because I don't think she had any intentions of maybe really going to bed, sleep or whatever. But anyway, she goes, oh, Badwick was playing with Leia something, and Zada gets real. So we all flipped over and started watching the stream or whatever. And Badwick was streaming over on his Twitch. I think Zali was actually streaming on her YouTube channel as well. And they were all like, had just started playing, right? And it was really enjoyable to watch them play. They didn't, Badwick didn't know what was going on. I don't think Badwick had ever played before in his life. I don't know about Leia something. I think maybe Zali had played it before a little bit, but wasn't really. It's just not one of her, just not a game that she plays, whatever. And but I was just thoroughly enjoying it. Of course, I was talking a little smack, how you gotta do what you gotta do, whatever, right? And but we were, D-Max and Seth. I said, they're going to get a victory royale, right? Because the way that Fortnite works, when you start off playing or whatever, they put you, or they rank you. They put you with similar skilled players. And since they were all like level 1, right, players, they're all new players. They're right in there with other new players and stuff. And so I was like, the chances of them getting a victory royale right out of the box was pretty good, because they are an inherently decent gamers, so that's it's just that that game particularly, maybe they don't know all the mechanics or ins and outs of the game or whatever. And it was really funny because they took out one of the little NPC bosses. And in Fortnite, when you take out a little NPC boss, whatever, they drop, a lot of times they'll drop like what they call a legendary weapon, right? It could be some kind of a shotgun, be an auto or a pump or something like that type of shotgun. Or it could be an assault rifle, or it could be SMG, just different kinds of things like that, snipers, that you can get. And really, they are really kind of maxed out stats, weapons. And so they just, and so Badwick just runs on by it. He doesn't, he's running around with little greenies and whiteys, guns. I mean, weapons and stuff, right? Just the basic entry level type weapons. He didn't pick up any of the other ones, the blues and the purples, and even the legendaries or yellow ones that you come across as you're playing or whatever. He didn't have shields, didn't know what shields were, nothing. And they wound up winning a victory royale. Now, there was a little bit of talk about how, and I really do wish there was a way for, I guess, Team Clear as Mud could go in and do like, some 3v3s or actual full squad, which is 4-person based matches. We could go in and just, team versus team type thing. And I wouldn't even have a problem, like if we was with other players or what have you, if there was a way to ensure that we all were on the same map together, uh, and just see how each squad does at the end of the thing, right? But I don't know of a way to do it. I wish Fortnite would do something like that, because I think it would go far as to um, for more, just make things fun, a little bit more competitive and things like that. Kind of harken back to my days when I was competitive playing Counter Strike back in the day, back in the 90s when I played Counter Strike competitively. But anyway, having a lot of fun enjoying that. And, but, let's get into the show. Let's just have some fun. Let's see, get over here and we'll go up here. So, who wants some coffee this morning? I know I do, right? I think everybody wants coffee. Yeah, let's get some coffee, everybody. So today's stream, we're going to talk about Katt Williams. Okay. Now, Katt Williams is a entertainer, comedian, slash movie star. And recently he did a sit down interview over on Club Shay Shay. Now, full transparency here, I don't know what Club Shay Shay is. Have no idea. I'm not familiar with it. I've never watched it before. So I can't tell you, uh, you know, wherefore, who, nothing. I don't know none of the stuff. All I know in this particular situation is Katt Williams. Now just kind of show you guys here. This thing has gotten 1.2 million up or likes and 11,000 dislikes, right? In this video, in this interview, Katt Williams drinks some cognac, right? Which that's what they're drinking. There's a little cognac. And he holds nothing back. He makes statements and allegations directed at some of the largest black comedians in the industry today, and not only black comedians, but also some actors who are comedic in nature. Some are more serious, but he gets into and not so much as, I don't think, my personal opinion or my takeaway is how the industry, Hollywood and stuff, forces black actors to put on dresses, right? For example, if you look at his name was just right there on the tip of my tongue. Oh gosh, what was it? Hang on here. Let's see. We'll just look this up. Cast. Yeah, Martin Lawrence. Okay, Martin Lawrence is a good example, right? Where, when he had the Martin Lawrence show, he had a character that he played. Then later on, he did Big Mama, right? You had Wesley Snipes that put on a dress for a movie alongside Patrick Swayze. And you had, of course, the Wayman brothers that put on a dress, and for white chicks and things of that nature, right? And he talks about how how emasculating that is, and how they're more or less kind of forced into doing that type of stuff to be able to further their career. This interview is almost 3 hours long. It's 2 hours and 46 minutes. However, we're going to focus on Abba and Preach did a video where they focus on more of the theft, the joke theft part of it, which Katt Williams, he started out and that's, he got his comeuppance, if you will, as a comedian, and he's a funny comedian. Now, Katt has had some ins and out in his history, but he overall, um, um, I find him humorous at times. Some of his stuff is maybe not for everybody, but I find it stuff. And anyway, so fresh and or fresh. Gosh, I hope they don't see me refer to them as fresh and fit. Oh, they'll come at me so hard. So Abba and Preach talk about specifically people like Kevin Hart, Stephen Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and theft, joke theft. So anyway, let's just kind of get into to this video.
We're only hearing about it because it's Katt. You know how many times these motherfuckers stole from nobodies? I don't care if it airs on everybody. I don't care how messy it gets. I don't give a about none of that stuff. These people are thieves, and a lot of people are think it's more important to protect the image of black people rather than rooting out evil people within the community.
Yep.
Okay? Oh. People who steal and pilfer. They want to make sure we look good. Meanwhile, there's dirty shit happening in the back. Katt Williams interview. So essentially, Katt Williams was on Shannon Sharp's podcast.
They Album Preach did a video. I watch a lot of their videos, if not all of them. They recently covered a story where there was an MMA fighter who also did food reviews and had went down into the Atlanta area and he went into and ordered food and was doing food reviews on Atlanta-based food restaurants, things like that. And there were these two gentlemen, and their names slipped my mind, but one of them was really, really upset with this guy for coming in there. He's like, it's hard enough for black people to get industry, to get businesses started, stuff like that. Why does he got to come in here and tear them down and stuff? And you shouldn't be, just because essentially in a nutshell, what the guy was saying was just because they were black owned and operated, he shouldn't be given bad reviews. He shouldn't be given honest reviews. He should be talking them up just because it's so hard. And the other gentleman in the conversation was pushing back. He's like, no, we can't do that. If it's bad, they got to be told that it's bad so they can fix it. And just because, it's black owned, it doesn't matter. Restaurants, period, the food industry, period, it's just real hard. And that's kind of what, and I've been preached did a video on that, whatever. That's kind of what that they were saying in that little opening segment was, there is this mindset out there of, because it's hard sometimes, or a lot of times for people of color to get a starting foothold or get a break in whatever industry it is, be it the comedic comedy or movies, acting, food, or restaurants, things like that. It's hard. They don't want to. You don't want to take them to task. You don't want to. You don't want to critique and stuff. And the thing of it is, Abba and Preach's stance was, if you don't know it's bad, then how are you supposed to get good? And the whole thing about it is as a comedian, as an entertainer, as an actor, actress, food, restaurant entrepreneur, owner, whatever, you want to put forth the very best of the best. So, because it has your name on it, right? So you want it to be good. And if people are not honest and open and just forthcoming and say, hey, this stinks, well then you never get, you never get any better. And that was always their stance. That's their,
which is called the Club Shay Shay. And during the interview, he essentially aired out a bunch of people in the industry. Everyone from the Kings of Comedy, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, for all kinds of different reasons. Some for stealing jokes, others for claiming accolades that they never had. And the interview went viral. So some people had some things to say. A lot of the people who were named had some responses. On the whole stealing jokes allegation, a lot of people were really shocked to hear that Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer stole jokes. I can tell you, they absolutely did. You can watch the videos themselves. They stole those jokes.
The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had.
Halloween was a trip. Halloween, we couldn't afford.
Now, one of the things that I really liked about Abba and Preach in their video they did here was they went out and they got the source material, right? That's one of the things that I always say, you want to bring your receipts. It's easy for people to make allegations, right? People, there's creators out there, especially us micro creators, stuff like that, trying to garner attention, right? Trying to get people to come and take a look, whatever. Clickbaity, right? Some are worse than others. I've clickbaited a time or two. I mean, and you'll title like the name of a video or something to really kind of, get eyes on you or what have you. But there's some out there that are horrible, right? And they'll make some of the most just outlandish accusations and things like that, and they'll always throw in there allegedly or that's what I hear, but they never ever bring any type of receipts. They never show anything, and they just do it to try to do two things. They do it to try to draw you into the other person that they're talking, trash on or whatever, to draw them into a confrontation, whatever, because they know that by doing that, if they can get you to come in, to like their streams or whatever like that, it's good for them. It's profitable for them, right? They get more viewers, and things of that nature. And my advice is and I haven't even taken my own advice sometimes in the past, but is to not engage with this dishonesty. It's they're just trying to like pick really low hanging fruit. But anyway, back to my original point here is that in this video, they show examples side by side where the original comedian was doing the bit, telling the story, and then how these larger comedians come in and do the exact same thing, and basically steal these people's hard work.
No Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us. Mm-hmm. We didn't know what we were. I don't know what we are. I don't know. She didn't tell us. I think we UPS, I guess. I don't know.
You've heard me say that every Halloween I had the same outfit on. Every year. I just had a brown box. I wasn't nothing sad. I asked my father, could I have a new outfit? And he said, no, just wear the same one. And it was just a brown box. And he just told me to tell everybody I was a UPS man.
Cedric doesn't write.
So, there's an example, right, where Steve Harvey took that, and I'm sorry I don't know the other man's name, but took his bit and used it. Now, is it, if we want to be generous, if we want to be gracious a little bit, whatever, is it possible that they just had similar life experiences growing up? Here's the thing, when people grow up poor, and I I think I grew up pretty poor. Now, we never lacked for anything. We had a roof over our head and food in our belly. Now, the clean clothes, a lot of times they were patched up, hand-me-downs, homes, home, what do you want to call it? My granny used to make me these little patch, quilt patched shirts and stuff where she'd make a quilt or something and she'd have some leftover scrap material squares, and and I'd wear shirts that looked kind of like quilts. The other way to put it, right? Patchwork shirts. When I was a kid growing up, it was just, that was just. But the thing about it is everybody around me was in the same boat. We were all. That's just how we do. We grew up poor. Everything we ate. I mean, pretty much everything that we ate, we grew in the garden or we killed it, hunted and killed it. Squirrel and deer and rabbit. We'd raise rabbits and hunt, or butcher them, and chickens we'd raise and butcher them, and hogs we'd raise and butcher them ourselves, smoke the meat, all that stuff. I mean, when I say I grew up poor, we grew up poor. I mean, you had to live off of what the land that we were on produced, and if a lot of times you couldn't do that within, it just wasn't good, and so. But like I say, everybody around me was in the same boat. So it wasn't, there was no have and have nots. You just didn't have, period. So, Steve Harvey, and this other gentleman, they could have had similar upbringings, right? But it's really funny, how the story was pretty much the same, right? So that's where they're talking about, the theft.
I'm sorry, he doesn't write.
Gas is entirely too high. That's all I'm saying. You are not supposed to be at the gas station making life decisions. You just at the pump. Just, Negro, did I eat today? I can't get no half a tank. I got 6 cigarettes. I can't even do it. That used to be, if you had $10, $15, you could go to the gas station with confidence because you knew you was either going to be full or damn near full. If you had a 20, you ain't even talk to the person at the counter. You just 20 on 11, bitch. Used to be, if you put $15 in your tank, you had time to bond with your vehicle.
Yes.
You had time to put the nozzle in and set the clicker and look through your car and clean off the dashboard and look through your CDs and run in the store and get some Pringles and a Snapper and it'll still be pumping. Now if you put $15 in, you can't even turn around good for that son of a bitch click. As soon as you put it in, just click, click.
Gas $4 a gallon. Can't even pump gas like you used to no more. $4 a gallon? You remember when you used to go to pump and put the nozzle in there and hit it? Be sitting there talking, be on your phone, hey, what's happening? Be walking around, cleaning the windshield. Speaking to gay, hey, girl, what's happening? What you doing? Hey, you. Hey. Dog, hey, you go in there, bring me a wine cooler. Bring me a cooler, dog. Not no more. Ain't nothing going on at that pump except you and that pump. Your ass is looking at that pump. Give me some. 4401. God!
Now, man, that's I'm sorry, that was just too much. I mean, there's, everyone has the same life experiences. Sure, the gas too high, you can't, I remember the day I could tell the same story, had the same life, but man, that joke, Steve, come on, brother.
You should have had your car radio up so loud.
Bet you couldn't hear the damn thing when it cut off. It looked like this. You flossing in a 6-shift convertible.
They gonna move to the moon. Ain't gonna happen. Y'all move to the moon, damn it, we coming to the moon. Oh, we'll be right behind y'all in space shuttles with Cadillac grills. Nigga just rolling, one headlight out. Tags be all wrong. All base. Y'all know we'll drive a space shuttle too. That's right up our damn alley. A space shuttle is long. They ain't scared no black folk. We'll drive a space shuttle. We grew up driving long cars. We'll drive a space shuttle like it's a 72 deuce and a quarter. We get us a cigarette. We be in a space shuttle like it's a 72 deuce. We get
Yeah, he stole those jokes. They both stole those jokes. Some people are like, how do you know? Listen.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know. So here's the question. Here's the real question, right? Not too long ago, there was a really big uproar because Carlos Mencia was accused of stealing other comedians' jokes, right? Famously, Joe Rogan went up on stage and confronted him about it, right? Called him out, read him the right act, up one side, down the other, just dotted the I's, crossed the T's, said, thank you, take your ass to the house, right? And, you know, that segment, that little clip, right, which I think was recorded on somebody's cell phone from, remember the quality of the video, whatever. And people to this day still cite that and watch it and watch it and cite that, you know, that incident and stuff, right? So, you know, joke theft among comedians is like major taboo, right? You know, Abba and Preach, that's their bread and butter, right? That's where they are comedians. They tour, they do comedy tours, they play local comedy stores and stuff up there in Canada where they live. They recently went on a tour. Sadly, they weren't nowhere near me, or because I would have loved to went and caught them live. But so, you know, Katt calling these guys out and it getting the traction and stuff that, you know, and Alba and Preach, you know, and like I said, they brought the receipts. I want you guys, matter of fact, here's what we're going to do, right? I'm going to share the link because some of you guys might not be familiar. I know I've talked about them in the past, but some of you might not know. So here you go. There's the link to their, to this particular video. But, if you haven't, you might want to give these guys a sub and watch, because they cover a lot of commentary type stuff, commentary subjects, what have you, and they're funny, they're entertaining. I enjoy them. But yeah, I mean, so look, like I said, I'm not gonna watch any more of their video. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go finish watching it. There's more. I mean, we didn't get but like 5 minutes into the video, right? And it's like almost a 30-minute video. There's a lot more they give examples of. And there's been other people have come out and talked about how Bernie Mac, right, and how Steve Harvey, because Kat gets into that, how Steve Harvey was, disrespectful to Bernie Mac, who we lost several years back. Funny guy. Bernie Mac cracked me up. Hilarious comedian. But how he talks about how Steve Harvey just was not very nice to Bernie Mac and stuff. And Bernie Mac's daughter has actually now even spoken out. Well, no, I'm not gonna say spoken out. She has spoken. She's come out and lied of all this stuff that's going on and said some things. And, she talks about how she's not, she doesn't really have a connection to that circle anymore because her father's passed. It's been like 10 years, I think, something like that, since her father passed, and she really didn't have a connection to that group of people anymore. But she has some stories too, right? One of the things and I seen a clip where it was Bernie, and he was talking about, and he was talking to some people, whatever, and he said this, he says, if you are a young comedian and you are trying to find your, to get a start, whatever, he said, you cannot ever work on your material, your good stuff. He says, you cannot work on that. He said, you don't ever tell it. He goes, especially if you go into a club, he said, there's a bunch of other comedians and stuff in the audience. He said, don't you do it. He said, don't you, because he said, I'll tell you right now, he said, you'll be sitting at home and all of a sudden, he said, he says you'll tune in to somebody special up on HBO or something. He goes, and there's your bit right there on the television, right? Because a lot of these larger comedians these days don't write their own material anymore. They have these young writers, comedians that write it, and these guys are out in the clubs and stuff, and maybe benefit of the doubt, maybe these larger comedians, whatever, don't know where these young writers are getting it, but they're out there cannibalizing, pilfering these upstarts and stuff like that, right? So anyway, it's going to be interesting because this is gaining more and more traction. More and more people are actually talking about this, right? So I don't know, honestly, I don't know where it's going to end, or what's going to happen, but yeah, it's something else. It is something else. Kind of moving along. Let's see here. You guys know that Law Cow. I've talked about the Law Cow podcast here, Law Cow Live podcast, rather, for just a second. What happened? I mean, I thought Sundays we were supposed to get like new shows every Sunday, and then like another, like sometime Tuesday, Wednesday in the week. And who's this? Is that Nerdy John? Nerdy, what are you doing, man?
Hello.
Hello. How you doing, Nerdy?
Doing good. I saw you were talking about the lolcow live, and I had to jump in.
You got to jump in. You coming in here to steal my thunder? You coming in here? You got all
Let's
the,
just
you got all
jump
the
into it.
deeds? You got all the
Like
deeds?
Steve Harvey, I'm gonna steal everything, man.
You gonna steal everything? Okay, let me.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell everyone how to get married too, despite having like 7 divorced wives.
There you go. So yeah, I Monday, I think, was this Monday when I posted this, January the 8th? Yeah, been yesterday, Tuesday, I guess I did this. So I just kind of noticed, I was like, because I was getting caught up on, videos. That's what I do during the day or whatever. And I went out there and I looked, I was like, man, I went out there to Law Cow's channel, and it'd been 11 days since they posted anything, right? And I went to their Twitter, and this here 3 days ago says they did a recording. I don't know, it didn't have the date on here or whatever, but So it would have been 3 days ago. It would have been like Saturday or something, I guess. Let's see, would that be right? Because I did this yesterday, Tuesday. So 1, 2, yeah, it'd been Saturday. So they did a recording, and it says here Boogie was 2 gigs, Tommy was 2 gigs, Harley, because this one was supposed to be the big one where Harley and Tommy was in this. Of course, they've had their own beef in the past because of the Creator Clash, boxing events, and then Wings coming in with 20 gigs again. This seems to be like I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they can't get the recordings. Man. Anyway, and then 7 hours ago, which would have, since I did this was yesterday, so that'd have been probably Monday, I guess would have been. They put out a thing that says drama behind the scenes. I'll talk about this week, Keem. And I haven't seen anything. I don't.
I wish Wings would show how he's recording on his end, because wasn't this the issue the very first episode too, where Wings had like 10 times the gigs of the recording that everyone else did?
Yes, and there's been situations where one of them wouldn't have their mic on, or they were talking but their mic was muted in their recording, and
oh no, yeah, and Wings he was not only recording his audio, he was recording every's audio.
Yes,
I bet you he just has like his OBS, because I'm guessing he's probably recording his camera for OBS. He probably hasn't messed up.
I said this back when they started having all these quote technical difficulties. What I didn't understand is why they don't have a Discord server set up. They get into a channel, they bring in the recording bot, right? Now they can still each record their own video, right? Respectively, and just do a full cam recording. All they have on the screen is just their cam. If they want to record the audio, fine, record the audio. But if they had the the bot in there recording audio as well, guess what? It's just a matter of getting it, syncing the audio. You get it synced, and then boom, you link them all up, and then you can cut and paste or do whatever you need to do with the. But the more editing I've done using Craig recordings, the audio recordings, it does a really good job. It's great, man, for doing, I can't, if you're thinking about doing a podcast or anything like that, create a Discord server. Not hard to do. The first thing you want to do is get Craig in there to record the stuff, because it's a really good quality recording too. I mean, it's not, so.
Yeah, it usually gets your mic like the level what it actually is.
Yeah.
You just have to, like, obviously if your microphone's a bit louder than everyone else's, you gotta have to, fiddle around with the settings a bit,
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, Wings, 20 gigs. They all have the same camera, by the way. So it's not like Wings is supposed to be recording in like 4K, 60 frames per second.
I wonder if that's what he's doing. I wonder if he is, because I'm sure it is a higher end camera. So I wonder if he is like actually trying to record like in 4K and stuff.
Oh, you think like everyone has like the optimized settings, but like Wings hasn't messed with it whatsoever. So his recordings are like going to be higher than usual because he didn't optimize the camera.
Well, I don't know what his resolutions are on his, because when you go into OBS and you set up if your monitor supports like 1440 or what they call 4K, right, recording, right? You can scrunch that down, or you can compress it down to like 1080. And when you're streaming online, or if you're creating online content, more times than not, 1080p at 30 frames PS is all you need. If you want to do 60, okay, fine, right? But for streaming content, especially on a podcast, 30 frames per second, 1080 max is all you need. Period.
No, yeah. Yeah, because they're all working with the same exact webcam. It's the It's the pro version of the Elgato face cam, which is, the
Mm-hmm.
4K 60 frames per second model.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. All they need is the 1080p 30
Yep.
frames per second
Yeah.
mode. Um I wish that they would on maybe the next lolcow live stream,
Yeah.
Keen takes him to task on like how do you record? Because like it needs to be solved. Like he's the only one
Well,
with like 20 gigs.
Okay. And if comes across as shade, fine, whatever. Do you think Keem is in any position to tell anybody how to technically do anything when it comes to doing a live stream or recording?
Well, someone has to. Maybe
Someone
maybe
has to.
we'll let Connor stream this.
Hey, he is the producer. He is or not producer. I don't know if he's the producer or not. He's the editor, whatever, right? Maybe he needs to. I don't know. It's befuddling to me. I don't know. We haven't had a lolcow episode in a while. I hope they get something out soon. I hope it. I mean, are we to the point where, was it 12 episodes? Is that it? We're going to get, is this going to be another baited podcast where we're going to get like 12 episodes of the original cast, and then it's going to fall totally apart, and then they'll rebrand it and go together, and maybe get another half a dozen.
Replaced by some bearded Australian.
Yeah. Clown gets replaced by a dude that never developed, has some sort of I don't know what was Andy's problem. I think he has some sort of genetic thing where he always perpetually looked like a 12-year-old boy.
Like 13.
Yeah, a 12-year-old boy, whatever it was.
He looks like he's like 13 too still.
Yeah.
Even though he's like 50.
Yeah. Good for him, right? Because I mean, he's not aging, so that's good on him, right? So anyway, what is this next one? Yeah, this one here. Now I cannot play this audio, and I'm not going whatever, right?
Oh yeah, I saw Nick's thread.
Yeah, Nicholas DiOrio shared this out. This is on, I think it's on TikTok or whatever, or maybe it's even on YouTube. So I don't know.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I didn't know this stuff existed, and I don't know whether or not to be mad at Nick or not for making me aware of this. I'll be honest with you. But what the actual hell?
Yeah,
Seriously.
I've had the unfortunate encounter with these TikToks. They've randomly popped up for me before.
Yeah.
It's like a weird true crime summary AI story where it's like, today I was stabbed to death 30 times.
Now, here's the thing about it. I don't know if these are pictures of the actual victims or not. I don't know.
They're AI generated.
They are just AI generated pictures. Well, I don't think that makes it any better.
It doesn't.
They're okay. So fine, they're AI generated pictures, and then they put them into some other algorithm that actually takes the audio or the text file that they've typed up and makes them move their face and talk and actually tell the story. And these things are horrific. They are absolutely positively horrific. I mean, it's everything from talking about these, babies being put into microwave ovens to just brutal murder, stab. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. So I don't know. To me, that type of stuff needs to be yeeted right off the internet, period. Okay. So Drama Alert's Twitter account. I understand what they're doing, and they're doing it just for like they're farming interactions, right? They're farming, whatever you want to call it, views, clicks, engagement. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, engagement. I understand what they're doing, right? But man, some of the stuff, I've been kind of calling them out here lately, right? Because I think some of the stuff is just, come on, really? Seriously? It's just how I'll leave that. But they put out this one here. You talk about Gen Z joins the workforce. And it's this TikTok of this girl, right? And she's obviously
in a Walmart outfit.
Yeah, she's obviously a Walmart employee, right? But I want to play the video and then I'm going to talk about what she says.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their lives. Let me put it in perspective for everybody who's a little confused here, okay? I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat. All by myself. I would not be capable of doing that. 20 years ago when you were getting started, you could live on your own. 20 years ago when you first started, you were able to do everything that I am now struggling to do. Let me add another perspective here. You've been working for 20 years. You have 20 years of working experience behind your belt. You have 20 years of experience in a career that has allowed you to gain raises, to get more money, to profit you in an economy that you created. You can sit here and you can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but I've been working my tail end off just to barely make it by. And respectfully, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I don't want to work my tail end off, wasting all of my life working just to barely be able to pay my bills. And that is what you created, not Gen Z. We're just here getting started. You've been doing it for the last 20 years. You tell me how it got ruined. We can sit here and we can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but you let the economy turn into what it did. You let it all run to hell. And now it's Gen Z's fault because we don't want to work to fix your mistakes.
Okay. I'm glad you're here, Nerdy.
Oh.
Are you technically part of Gen Z?
I believe by technicality, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, you're out here in these streets struggling to try to get a foothold, right?
Yeah, it's technically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I work about 40 plus hours a week. Usually doing overtime. I've actually, technically, I am at a place now where like I can live financially on my own, especially with the extra income that YouTube allows.
Okay.
It's usually just just in the process of getting everything sorted. But I've built my credit up this year, so
you sound like you're nervous, Nerdy. Why are you nervous? Do you think I'm fixing? Do you think I'm fixing to come at you or something?
I know how you feel about Gen Z. I know how you feel about Gen Z.
No. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Do you agree what she's saying or do you disagree with what she's saying?
I think it's a little give and take. Obviously, the financial, I'm not a financial expert, but like the financial situation 20 years ago is very different than how it is nowadays, right? But like there's always people forget that there's always a period where people always financially struggle. It's not a new concept. It's not a new thing for especially young people to financially struggle. I mean, obviously, imagine when you were a young man, like you didn't have money instantly for a $500,000 house, right?
No.
You had to work towards that with college, with your college degree, your regular 9 to 5 jobs before you could get a job in your field,
Sure. Okay, so two things. One, she's not entirely wrong, but two, it's all about perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does it cost more now than what it did back then? In a nutshell, yes. Okay. Depending on where you're living, right? Because when you first get out of, you're first starting off, be it whether you go to college or you go to a trade school, or you just decide I'm not doing either one and I'm just going to go through the school of hard knocks and just work and do your thing, right? I will tell you this, if you go to post or what they call secondary education, be it college or through a trade school or something like that, you're adding on to your difficulties because you're taking on debt, right?
No, yeah.
Because college loans or whatever, right? So you have that adds into the mix. But guess what? I had college debt too, or trade school debt, or whatever you want to call it, when I got through, started out, right? I can tell you, it's kind of, it's the biggest thing that I notice is expectations, right? The biggest thing I see is like with Gen Z, and I'm not going to sit here and crap on your heads here, Gen Z. So calm down. Gen Zs, a lot of people, and even in my generation when I was growing, kids, whatever, and I grew up, my mom and dad had a modest home, right? Um, I grew up, like I said, I grew up for the most part, I would say bottom middle class or poor, right? Got the free lunches at school. Mom and dad didn't bring a lot of money in. I mean, so like I said, hand me down clothes, things like that. And so, but even with that, when I first moved out and stuff, started looking for an apartment and stuff, and I seen how much they cost per month, and I knew what my monthly income was, even though I had a skill set. I went to school, I had to pay for that skill set. So I had a loan every month that I had to cover, pay, right? Plus I had rent, utilities, and I'll be quite honest with you. I'll be quite just frank with you. The time I paid my utilities, I paid my rent, I paid my insurance on my vehicle, because luckily I drove a car that was so stinking old that it cost me just a few $1,000 to buy, and I didn't have a monthly car payment, right? I lived within my means. And yeah, the car was really old. The apartment I lived in was not that great, right? And it was, I guess you would kind of say it was kind of like almost a ghetto apartment. I had ghetto furniture. Everything I had was wretched. But when you first start off, that's how it is. You don't have a nice apartment. You don't have a nice car. You don't have all these things, right? And yeah. And as far as what I had left over for groceries to survive me, because I got paid, I'm going to think, was it when I first started, did I get paid? I think I got paid twice a month, right? And I was basically living off of the cheap, not even the generic like Walmart brand macaroni and cheese. No, my brothers and sisters. I was that little black box that said macaroni or white box with black lettering on it that said macaroni and cheese. It's like the generic.
I know what you're talking about. They got those in the dollar store.
Yes, that's what I was living off of, right? And a lot of times I didn't even have like milk. I'd have a little butter in there, and so it would be butter and some water that I would be making. Yeah. So look, the struggle is real. I get it. I understand what you say. Did we make this economy where we voted. The thing that, and this is, this was my statement to her. I said, well, the good news is these guys can vote. You guys are of age now where you can vote. We have an election coming up here in November. Vote. Yep. Vote for officials vote for elected officials to put in there that you think are going to make things better.
Yeah. So I'm actually attempting to be in the process of moving out now.
Yeah.
All I have to do is just I have to save up a bit more for furniture.
No, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Let me tell you, get your furniture, because this is what I did. I'm going to give you, here is a Gen X handing down to a Gen Z tidbit, right? Save you a ton of money. Do you have a buddy that has like an old wretched pickup truck?
I do actually.
Okay, here's what you do. You call him up, and you got to do this at night.
Yeah, at night.
Okay? Now, what I'm doing, tell him to do, guys, is not illegal. Pump your brakes early, Harvey. So what you do, when is trash pickup in your neighborhood, in your community, your town? When is it?
It's actually today.
Hey, okay. So Tuesday mornings. So okay. Or is this Wednesday? No, is this Wednesday? What day the hell? What day week is this?
It's Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday. All right. So you need to do this on Monday night. You call your buddy up and you say, hey, listen, I'll buy you like a $5 box meal at Taco Bell, right? Got to give him a little something, right?
Oh,
Help
he's got a
him.
Taco Bell addiction. So like this is
All right.
working out so far.
This is working for you. And what you do is you get in his pickup truck and you drive around your neighborhood and you see, because people put stuff out on the curb. You can find chairs, you can find a couch, you can find all kinds of stuff, man. And all you got to do is throw it in the back of that truck and go, because it's out for to be taken. Now, it's not going to be good. It's going to be shitty furniture. And you might have to get a cinder block to put underneath the leg because maybe the leg of the couch broke or whatever, right? Or you might have to put it underneath the recliner. You might have to put cinder blocks underneath there to square it up, whatever. But it doesn't matter. You got some place to sit. And then you can buy yourself, like, say, go to your Walmart and you can buy yourself a queen size sheet or a twin sheet or whatever and throw over the top of it because the upholstery is going to be ripped all to hell and back. But you throw it over the top of it so that it ain't poking your ass and getting all over your clothes and shit. But that's what you do. That's what I did, right? You ain't got to buy furniture. You just drive around and you pick it up. That's what you do.
And one of the reasons why I'm now able to do it is because I paid off one of my massive college debts.
There you go.
Acquired like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Which was it was good for me actually because originally the payment plan was a 4-year plan and I paid it off in half the time.
Yeah. So you see now, John, like I said, I know because you'd share with me, but I don't want to give you business. I don't want to put your business in the street that you were getting ready to move and get your own place. You're taking that next step and becoming a independent young person, young adult, and good on you. And I'm proud of you. I really am. But man, right there, I just saved you money. You
did.
And all it's going to cost you is a $5 taco box meal or whatever it is, maybe, right? Or if you want a nom nom too, I think they used to have those like $10 tacos for like, what was it, like $20 or something? Get the big box taco box for like $20, whatever, splurge.
Oh, dude.
You know?
I get the iced Baja Blast every time I go to Taco Bell.
Yeah. And here's
the
the
little
thing.
slushy thing they got.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I'm going to give you a tidbit on how for bed, right? Bed's to be the tough one, right? Because you don't want to just go out there and grab some mattress and stuff up because you get bed bugs and shit. You don't want all that, right?
Yeah. I was actually temporarily thinking of buying just like a cheap air mattress.
Well, okay. So here's the vicious cycle on the air mattress thing. I'm going to give you some heads up on that mess. Inevitably, what's going to happen is this. It's going to get a hole, right? And then you get in that sucker, and I got to buy a new one. So no, that's a waste of money. That's a waste of money. So here's what you do, right? You're not a big dude, right? So what you can do is you look on Amazon and you can get a foam mattress, probably like a twin size for like tops $100, right? Mm-hmm. And it'll come to Amazon right to your house and it's vacuum sucked up, sealed and everything. So all you do is when you get kind of where you want your room and you cut it and it puffs up, right? And you sleep on the floor, and then when you save a little bit more money up, you get on there. They got these little wire frames that are built specifically for those type of beds where you ain't got to have a box spring or nothing. I sleep on one, and it's good. You just put the little metal frame, and then you put later on for like a twin size, you probably get away with maybe $200 for a bed, and it's a good quality mattress, and you have no problems, and it's like memory foam. Good stuff, man. But that's one thing I would splurge on would be a bed to make sure you ain't getting the bed bugs or some other critters crawling into you.
Right.
But dude, I'm telling you right there. So for $200, you get a bed. For $20, you get tacos for your buddy. You get maybe get you a couch and a chair, dining room table, things like that. Another thing you can do, is if you search around like these secondhand stores, antique stores, they have stuff in there all the time that you can get for little of nothing.
Yeah.
But
well, when I move out, I gotta make sure the crib be looking nice for all the fine women that are gonna be coming over.
Yeah. You ain't gonna have money for that shit, so just hang that up, right? But listen, no, I mean, this young lady is not wrong, but the other problem is this, okay? she's working retail.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's retail. It doesn't matter if it's the food industry, like your fast food, or, or not even fast food. You could be a little bit better than that. Like if you're working at an IHOP or a Cracker Barrel or, Weston Sizzler or Cactus Jacks or whatever, a little bit better than fast food type things. Those are all entry level positions. It's going to be low pay. The thing of it is if she wants to better herself, she's either going to stay there, and retail is the absolute worst about this, is trying to climb up and get promotions and get paid. It's the worst, right?
No, yeah, especially Walmart. They don't allow for unions.
Well, Walmart, Target, I don't think Kmart's even a thing anymore. But any of those,
no, it's long dead.
Yeah, all of those things, it doesn't matter. They're great. Well, okay, so those types of jobs are okay for like a second income, like a part-time, like a second job. But my advice to people is this: is you need to get a skill. It has to be a trained skill, right? So either you have to go to like a 2-year type or tech college type thing where you learn a skill, be it like plumbing or electrical or welding or auto mechanics or auto body or something of that nature, or you go to college and you have to be smart when you go to college and you have to choose a marketable field, like the medical field, like being a nurse or into
Construction,
PT or OT.
HVAC.
Yes, the HVAC, construction, any of those type of things, right, are marketable. And you could, like the other day, I needed a plumber, right? I can't do plumbing. I'm not a good plumber. All it does is piss me off. So I don't do it. And so I had to wait almost 2 weeks to get a plumber to come in and do some plumbing for me, right? Because he was in such demand, right? It's the same thing with HVAC or your heating and air conditioning. There's huge demand for those people, not skill sets, right? I would so highly encourage young people today, if you're, maybe you're fresh out of high school, or maybe you're fixing to get ready, to get out of high school. Look at the trades. You're going to work. Listen, you're going to use your hands. Your hands are going to get dirty. A lot of times you're going to be in the heat, or going to be in the cold or the elements. But I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be compensated. You're going to be paid well. Right? You're going to go to school for maybe 9 months to a year, right? For a lot of them. And when you come out, you're going to be making more money than most college graduates that are not like doctors or engineers, that type of stuff. You're going to be making more money than a lot of professionals that have been in the job for like decades that have a college degree. And I'm not lying. Go look at the earning potentials. I'm not lying. I'm not blowing smoke up your butts. I'm telling you the truth. That is where to go. And that market and industry is wide stinking open and there's such a shortage of people right now in the trades. Huge shortage. You literally can write your own ticket. I'm just telling you 100%. Yeah, and Stan says, I have a friend who is an electrician. Within 4 years and a couple of certifications later, she makes $100K a year. I've told this story, but I'll tell it again. My youngest son had a classmate. Now, he was a little bit slow when it come to academics, but he's a hard worker and was good natured and just an all around, good dude. But he was a little slow when it come to the academics. He graduated from school, same, with my son. He went to a welding school for 9 months, and he got his certifications and stuff while he was going through welding. His first job out, his pay plus his per diem per week was like $1,500 a week is what he was getting paid. That's right. He was making $6,000 a month. And a lot of these teachers that always, I remember I was sitting there one when it, got, he graduated, that he did this stuff, and then he, whatever. And I remember a couple of teachers were sitting there talking, and they were lamenting because these guys had been teaching in education for like 20 plus years, and this guy's making more than they are, not just a little bit, but he's making like double what they are. And they've been in the teaching industry for like almost 30 years. And they were like, it's just, I can't believe you make, and they were like bitter, sour, and just griping, right? And I sat there and I listened to him talk for about 10 or 15 minutes. And I said, hey, I said, yeah, I said, here's an idea. That school that he went to get that certifications in welding is just right down the road. Won't you two just quit teaching? Both of you go down there and get the job and become welders, and you go out here and lay in the mud and the muck and the hot sun and let those little bits of slag and stuff pop off there and roll down your shirt and burn you and stuff. And you guys can do that and make that kind of money. Well, I don't want to do that. I said, all right, okay, that's fair enough. Then shut up. The kid's making it. He's doing well. You ain't got to sit there and be bitter and jealous and talk about how, no, shut up. I don't want to hear it. The kid's doing great. Or he's not a kid. He's a young man. He's doing great. He's working his butt off. He's getting wet and nasty heat and, cold and all that kind of stuff. But he's doing well. So anybody gets out and works and just, I'm not going to crap on those people. I'm just not going to, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not. But I would at this point in time, unless you're wanting to go into the nursing or some sort of medical field, or if you're wanting to be an educator, or engineering, that type of thing, I wouldn't do college. I just wouldn't. Anything outside of that, even IT, IT would probably be another. I know they've got degrees you can go and get IT degrees and stuff from college, but that'd probably be okay. But I might even look at more going to like ITT or DeVry or something like that to get your degree, something that's more specialized in IT stuff than just like your local college, if that's a possibility for you, or go to the trades. Everything else, no. Not unless you're wanting to become a college professor and teach at the collegiate level. The job markets out there for those type of jobs are just, it's not that you can't find it, but they're so hard to find jobs because there's not like a huge turnover rate, and or there's just not a huge demand, So that's all I'd have to say that. I think that's about all I've got this morning. Nerdy, you got anything going on? You got any streams coming up? You got any shows going on? Fixed to pop up?
Why, yes, sir, I do. Today we're going to be going over the Mama Max streams, the segments that were uploaded to the archive websites, channels. And tomorrow we'll probably be going to be going over either the Plague Moth stuff, or we're probably going over the Maddox live Q&A, which I thought was funny because Boogie called in eventually.
Okay, so let me see if I can go out of here and edit this, and I'll.
Wait, there's a stream. There's a stream this morning, Squadron. I told you in the group chat.
Not the group chat. Come on, man. Not the.
Sir, it's Tuesday exactly, and I have Tuesdays off now.
Okay, let's see here. Edit this. Why is it not letting me? All right, let me do it this way then. Being stupid. Because it looks like you're about to go live here shortly, right? Is that right? Am I looking at those numbers right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't check that. Well, maybe you should, Squadron.
Exactly.
Maybe you should.
Let's see, what's it going to let me do here? What? Okay, here we go. Customization, redirect, other, and boom, there we go. I selected you. There you go. We'll raid into you. How's that, Nerdy John?
That sounds mighty fine.
Does that
Thank you
fine, mighty
kindly,
fine?
good sir.
Hey, no problem. No problem. All right. So I'm gonna wrap things up. If you want to head on over there and get your stuff ready to go, Nerdy John. And thank you for calling in this morning. I appreciate it, buddy. And we'll see if we can kick your stream off with a bang this morning. Get you some viewers.
All right.
All right. And that was Nerdy John. So I'll give him just a minute or two here. I'll pull up his thing here. And, well, hang on here. Let me do this here. Let me do this so I can do the thing and do here we go. I want to mute that. Yeah. Okay, there we go. And then I'll come over here and okay. Okay, so he's live now. There we go. All right, so I'm going to end the stream, guys. We're going to rate into Nerdy. If you don't mind, just kind of hanging in there and go see Nerdy. Give him a little love and support this morning. He's just a little guy trying to do a little thing on the internet. But thank you guys for tuning in this morning. I was kind of late notice, but I appreciate you. Just real quick before I go over to the Nerdy John thing, I want to do this because I kind of did this. I didn't do this like I should have. I'll put it that way. I did some work on the store. I did some work on the merch store, guys. I worked with Squatchin, and she did a design. She did a new design for me. And I launched that new line, the new merch line, and I took down some of the old merch stuff. All the oatmeal for brains, that stuff is gone. I took it down. So if you didn't get a shirt before now, if you message me and DM me because you really just wanted to and you just didn't get it, I might possibly put it back up for you. But I do have some new merch, and thank you there, Squatching. But I'm going to show you guys the merch. So here's the new merch, right? I think Squatcha did an excellent job on this. As you can see here, we have it. It is, when you're out here milking these law cows, right? Sometimes you just over milk and they just get a little dry and them teats just get bruised and tore up. Well, now you can get you some Peepaw's Udder Butter and you can soothe those law cow teats. So you can get we've got, I've got you some, there's women's t-shirts here. You got different colors. You got and then we got like a red, a black, like a heather gray, whatever, and then like a white. Where did it go? Come on now. Why is the white not? I don't know. But you could also get in I've got a pullover hoodie, and this one here, I wished I could wear hoodies. This one I think turned out really. I really like this one. The purple hoodies always are just so good. But Squatchin just did a fantastic job on this. So, when those law cows around you, whatever, you can just get you some Peepaw's Udder Butter here and just, help them soothe those teats. And of course I've still got the t-shirts, for everybody else. These are unisex, male or female, doesn't matter. Got you a pink one for the ladies if you're so inclined, white, red. The red, I thought the red turned out real good with the color. It pops out real well. And of course black, and then I don't know if this is like a navy, I think. Yeah. But anyway, all the way up to 5XL for us big boys. But anyway, make sure you check that out. I'm going to get some ordered. But Squatchin did a fantastic job. She did it in just like really quick, real easy to work with. And I kept coming back and I changed this, changed that. I was showing it to D-Max, and D-Max, well, do this, whatever else. Cause he's a lot more creative than me. I just had an idea and I thought, man, this would be really good. But anyway, I am charging a little bit more for these for two reasons. I thought the graphics were really good, and I know that these are really good quality, high quality t-shirts and stuff. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I even have a coffee mug. I forgot about the coffee mug, right? So you can even get you a Soothe Your Teats Peepaw Utters Butter coffee mug. So while you're sitting there having coffee with your, your family come in, you bring that out over breakfast the next day. Yeah, they'll talking points. You said, what is it? Yeah, so yeah, definitely talking piece. So you can get yours today. Like I say, they deliver pretty much everywhere: Australia, European, Canada, the whole kit and boot. You can get them. But anyway, again, I want to thank Squatchin. She did a really good job on this. Was real easy to work with. Really good rates. So definitely, if you're a creator and you're wanting to have some custom artwork and stuff done, reach out to Squatchin. 100% reach out to her. She good. She did good stuff there. But anyway, check out the merch. Links in my Twitter bio, links in the bio below in the VOD if you want to, afterwards you want to check it out. 100%. And on that note, I'm going to end this up, and we're going to go over and say right into Nerdy John. So you guys just hold on to your seats there. And remember, guys, to keep your powder dry. And I will see you in the funny papers.